There's no third in that last chord. That is a pure fifth. That's the fifth that could be the cornerstone in the world's largest cathedral, right? I mean, that is a cornerstone that has just been set in place. And what Bach's telling you, the Kyrie eleison, have mercy. The Kyrie is, first off, the word is Greek. It's so old that it's older than Latin, right? Most Greek influence was purged at the time that Christianity was being solidified, but Kyrie is a Greek word. So it's a very old sentiment. It's repeated in threes and all that, and it means have mercy. Please have some mercy. And when Mozart is asking for mercy, he goes to Bach. Perfectly logical. He is also invoking the past. This does not sound like modern music. It is not modern music in 1791. He's writing music that sounds like it could have been written in 1691. Right? It's 100 years old. He's invoking the past. He's making the past into something that is relevant to the present by putting this movement second. He isn't moving in a progression. He isn't saying, like Bach very often would write in the old style and then break into the new style. He would say, this is the way it was, and this is the way it is now. And it's glorious when Bach does that. But Mozart's saying the opposite. He's saying, this is new. He started with new. And now I want to invoke the old. Now I want to go back and see if we can summons the ghost of Bach to hang out for a little while in this Requiem Mass. And it should just about be good enough to do it. That fugue is so together and so lively, and the instruments are so bright the way that they contribute to it and push it, and yet they don't overpower it. How hard is that to do? To get all that vocal writing turning and twisting one dial inside of the next, but then keep the instruments around there to just say, yeah, you sound good. Just keep singing. Oh, this sounds great, Keep going. Just enough. It's just quite perfect. The next thing I want to get into in the sequence, in the Dies Irae, is the famous tuba mirum. This is the famous trombone solo. Yeah, he's, bass soloist. And then the tuba interacting, right? Yeah, trombonists live for this stuff. And the trombones sound all the way through the Requiem is great. The trombones were used in church music, not in opera. That's why it's a big deal that Mozart does use trombones in Don Giovanni and at the end of Magic Flute and places like this. Tenor solo. I want to skip now to the Confutatis Maledictus. This is a piece made famous by Amadeus for its really perfect use. That's the one. But here is... You hear the trombone again, very prominent. Contrast, voca me.
What did you say?
Voca me.
What's that? That's what they're saying?
Yeah, voca me. Hear the contrast of the two voice types and the two musical styles battling one another. Being tormented and being peaceful. reconciliation between the two forces. Tension is still there in the background, right? Okay, we're almost there. Mozart's only alive for 9 more bars of music. And these are the 9 bars that he left with.
We're doing this next semester.
You've got to do this next semester. The whole thing, or like what? Part of it?
Mozart.
Yeah. You should only do 9 bars of it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant that way. I've heard, in fact, the Greenwich Choral Society performed it this way, I think a year ago. They performed the entire Requiem, and then they stopped after 9 bars. Had total silence for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then they did the Ave Verum Corpus after that. Really, really affecting. I mean, people were sobbing, you know. And I'll show you why. Because I'm going to stop the music after 9 bars so you can hear exactly what was taking place. This is the most haunted music that you're ever going to hear. And again, that's naturally it bothers me that you're going to recognize it from commercials first. But forget that association kindly and just listen to how strange this musical idea is. The lines are constantly twisting in and out of things in the least expected possible place. And there's these gorgeous skips, unexpected twists and turns. And the first phrase is really very beautiful. You see the score here is an old score. This is the first edition. So you see the strings are on top, then the winds, the basset horns, the bassoons, the trombones and trumpets, timpani, the voice parts, and finally the bass. The entire Requiem is kind of organized in this way. Okay, let's give this a listen. It's too cruel, isn't it? That's where it stopped. And anything that happens after that, we can't be sure of. We can be sure it would have been different had he lived to finish it, but that's where he stopped. Right in the middle of a sentence, right in the middle of a thought. He just finishes one idea, and he's just getting going to go somewhere else, and he's silenced just like that.